Picture this. A sleek, futuristic hypercar glides onto a stage under blazing lights. The crowd is silent, waiting. Then Christian von Koenigsegg steps forward, holding a motor no bigger than a briefcase. It weighs just 86 pounds, yet it turns out a staggering 800 horsepower. This is the dark matter motor, and it's not just a piece of tech. It's a revolution. The automotive world thrives on disruption. For years, one name has dominated the electric vehicle narrative: Tesla. Led by the enigmatic Elon Musk, Tesla turned EVs from niche experiments into global obsessions. Their formula was simple but brilliant: big battery packs, cutting-edge software, and a charging network that made range anxiety a thing of the past. Wall Street cheered, fans lined up, and competitors scrambled to catch up. Tesla wasn't just a company. It was a movement. But movements don't stay unchallenged forever. Enter Koenigsegg, a company that builds cars like a jeweler crafts a masterpiece. While Tesla's factories churn out millions of vehicles, Koenigsegg's small team in Ängelholm, Sweden, obsesses over every bolt, every curve. They don't follow trends, they create them. And in early 2025, they unveiled something that made the industry gasp. The dark matter motor isn't just another electric motor. It's a complete reimagining of what propulsion can be. At 86 pounds, it's lighter than a suitcase. Its 800 horsepower and 922 lb-ft of torque rival the output of engines 10 times its size. And it's built not with heavy steel, but with carbon fiber, a material so light and strong it's used in fighter jets. This wasn't just a flex. It was a challenge to everything the EV world thought it knew. Traditional motors rely on steel laminations to channel magnetic fields. Koenigsegg threw that playbook out the window. Their motor's rotor, stator, and housing are all carbon fiber, a first in production EVs. But how do you make a motor without steel's magnetic properties? Koenigsegg's answer was ingenious. A 6-phase winding system. Unlike the standard 3-phase setup, this distributes power more smoothly, slashing heat buildup and boosting efficiency. The result, a motor that delivers mind-bending performance without the weight penalty. But Koenigsegg didn't stop there. They paired the dark matter motor with a silicon carbide inverter called David. Weighing just 33 pounds, yet capable of handling 1,300 amps at 850 volts. That's enough juice to power a small town packed into something you could toss in a backpack. And then there's the battery cooling system. A game-changer in its own right. Instead of clunky plates or tubes, Koenigsegg floods the battery pack with a non-conductive oil blend. Every cell is bathed in coolant, letting the battery run harder, longer, and cooler than anything else on the market. The stage for this revolution was the Koenigsegg, a 4-seat hypercar that blends the dark matter motor with a twin-turbo V8. The result is the tourbillon drive system, delivering a jaw-dropping 2,300 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 1.9 seconds. No traditional transmission, just direct power to the wheels through a clutch system that dances between electric and combustion with seamless precision. This isn't just a car, it's a statement. The future of performance doesn't have to be all electric. It can be hybrid, lightweight, and brutally fast. Across the ocean, Tesla's headquarters in Austin felt the shock waves. For over a decade, Tesla had owned the EV narrative. Their plaid motors found in the Model S and X were no slouches. 3 motors pumping out over 1,000 horsepower combined, but they're heavier, bulkier, and built on a philosophy of scaling battery size to boost range and power. Koenigsegg's approach flipped that logic. Why lug around massive batteries if a lighter, more powerful motor could do the job? Suddenly, Tesla's strategy looked less like gospel and more like one option among many. The ripple effect was immediate. Car enthusiast forums exploded with debates. Could Koenigsegg's tech scale beyond hypercars? Would other manufacturers follow suit? Analysts began to whisper about a new paradigm. EVs had been about range and efficiency, but Koenigsegg was redefining the game around power density and flexibility. Their hybrid system suggested that the all-electric future Tesla champion might not be the only path. Performance could come from blending technologies, not betting everything on batteries. Imagine the scene at a private Koenigsegg event. Engineers and journalists gather in a sleek Swedish facility, the air buzzing with anticipation. The dark matter motor sits on a pedestal, its carbon fiber shell gleaming under spotlights. Technicians fire it up and there's no whine, just a soft hum as it spins to life. Measuring equipment flashes numbers that seem impossible. 800 horsepower from something so small. Christian von Koenigsegg explains the magic. Carbon fiber doesn't just cut weight. It eliminates any current losses that plague steel motors. More energy becomes motion, not heat. The crowd is stunned. This isn't incremental progress. It's a quantum leap. Then comes the real-world test. The Gemera rolls onto a track, its hybrid powertrain roaring and humming in harmony. It launches, pinning onlookers to their seats as it rockets past 60 miles per hour in a blink. The data is clear. This car isn't just fast. It's rewriting what fast means, and it's doing so with a setup that weighs less than a comparable all-electric system. The message is unmistakable. The future of propulsion doesn't have to be heavy or rigid. It can be light, adaptable, and thrilling. Tesla's response wasn't immediate, but it was inevitable. Their engineers, known for rapid innovation, had been watching. Tesla's strength has always been iteration. Each model better than the last. The Plaid powertrain was a leap over earlier designs, and their work on 4,680 battery cells showed they weren't standing still. But Koenigsegg's breakthrough forced a reckoning. Could Tesla stick to its battery-heavy playbook? Or would it need to pivot? Whispers of a new Tesla motor began to circulate. Lighter, maybe using carbon composites. More powerful, perhaps borrowing from Koenigsegg's multi-phase approach. Nothing was confirmed, but the pressure was on. The broader industry felt it, too. Big automakers like Mercedes and BMW with their massive R&D budgets had long stuck to safe bets, tweaking steel motors, optimizing batteries. Koenigsegg's success exposed a truth: playing it safe might mean falling behind. Carbon fiber motors were once dismissed as too costly, too complex. Koenigsegg proved otherwise. Building every component in-house and inventing what didn't exist. Their philosophy, need doesn't exist, we make it, was a wake-up call. Innovation wasn't about budgets, it was about vision. Consumers noticed. Online searches for Koenigsegg dark matter spiked. Car magazines ran cover stories comparing the Gemera to Tesla's Roadster. Social media buzzed with clips of the Gemera's blistering acceleration. The public wasn't just intrigued by the tech. They were captivated by the story. A small Swedish company making fewer cars in a year than Tesla builds in a day had outsmarted the giants. It was David versus Goliath. And David's slingshot was a carbon fiber marvel. But let's zoom out. The EV revolution isn't just about motors. It's about infrastructure, cost, and scale. Tesla's supercharger network spans the globe, making long-distance EV travel a reality. Their factories produce cars at a pace Koenigsegg can't touch. And their software, over-the-air updates, self-driving tech, sets them apart. Koenigsegg's Gemera is a masterpiece. But at $2 million a pop, it's not parked in your neighbor's driveway. Tesla's Model 3 is. So, is Koenigsegg a threat to Tesla's empire? Not exactly. They're playing different games. Tesla's building a mass-market future. Koenigsegg's redefining performance. Still, the dark matter motor changes the conversation, proves that EVs can be more than battery behemoths. Lighter motors mean smaller batteries, which mean lower costs and less environmental impact. Hybrids, once seen as a stopgap, suddenly look like contenders. Koenigsegg's tech could inspire others. Maybe a startup scales it for mainstream cars, or a luxury brand adopts it for their next supercar. The ripple effect is real, even if it doesn't topple Tesla overnight.